Hello and welcome to another game of Fury of Dracula. This is my second semi-finals game against Arternum. Uh, we have the hunters. We have Dracula today, and we are playing against Arternum. We've already played our first game where I had hunters. Spoiler alert for that. Mute me for a minute if you want no spoilers for that. Okay, I'm now trusting you've muted me if you don't want to hear a spoiler. I won that game with a lot of IDS. Dracula got 1 point and made it to the fourth week, so he got 3 total. So if I can either score a point and make it to the fourth week or score 3 points, then even if I lose, I'll get to play again as hunters. But let's try and win. So what do we have here? We have bodyguards, a vampire, wolves, fog, and was that on the far right? Soil. Fine. So I want to go in Spain. I've looked at his previous 2 games, and okay, he's got his unique setup, right? He's moved. It's like the Pizza Wizard setup, only Seward has moved from Bordeaux to Paris. Now Bordeaux is fine. Paris. Oh, this is a bit far away from Spain, right? I mean, even when Seward's in Bordeaux, are we confident that Spain is fine, or are we accepting that the slight weakness of Spain is an acceptable limitation? I would argue it's the latter. Right? If you watch Pizza Wizard's games, you'll see that he very consistently searches Cadiz and Granada with hired scouts, because only Seward can deal with Encounter 1 Lisbon or Encounter 1 Cadiz or Encounter 1 Granada, and it's a little awkward for Seward. He's going to have to get to Cadiz. He's going to have to either take a train to Lisbon or Madrid. And Dracula could try and put something in his way. So I think the Pizza Wizard accepts that even when Seward is in Bordeaux, that's 8 by the way, Spain is a little weak, and this is fine. Somewhere's going to be weak, right? Like I use the Oktoberfest start, and yes, Spain is hella weak under the Oktoberfest start, and that's an acceptable limitation of the Oktoberfest start. But I respect the weakness, right? None of Arternum's hired scouts in week 1 searched Spain in either of his first 2 games in knockout stages. So he doesn't respect Spain as a weakness, at least as far as I can tell. So I'm going to start in Spain. I was hoping to have. My hope was Hoax in 12, Vampire in 26, rumoured, move to 1, place whatever. I was thinking maybe Soil, but I didn't really care. In 1, go to 34, place Mob, and something else. Mob and bats, mob and wolves, 2 mobs. And then hopefully I'm then in 34 when Seward moves with his 3-2 rail ticket to Paris after he gets his newspaper reports revealing 12. That was the hope. I did not have a hoax in my starting hand. So we're going to have to do something else. But we might stick with the same arrangement. Of like the same cities. Like we're thinking 31, 12, 26, 1, 34 hide. Seward moves on to us. We ambush. We fight. We kill him. We leave Spain. Okay. We didn't have a hoax, so we've written frog instead. And then we'll rumour the vampire, and surely the vampire matures. Right? Seward can't deal with the fog, get unstuck by the fog, and then deal with a rumoured vampire. So he would have to deal with a rumoured vampire before the fog matures, because I will mature the fog, probably, and put the fog above the vampire. Or I could be found by hired scouts on round 2. He searched Lisbon and Alicante. Glorious. Well, that was not in the plan. We were expecting to be discovered in round 5 or thereabouts. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to make something up. This is not good. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, I think it's a perfectly sensible search for round 2. It's just on all of his previous games, he didn't do this search. Did in my opinion, more illogical searches. So yeah, I've been got. But oh well. It's fine. The start is still okay. Has a stake. It's fine. That's good for me. Like Mina's far away. Right. So bodyguards, vampire. I don't want spy. I don't think I want soil because I'm probably not going to have taken much, if any, damage. And really, if I'm going to Granada, then this should be my vampire, the thing I want to mature. Okay. Lord Godalming still hasn't drawn an event. Lord Godalming is thinking about moving. No, he doesn't have a ticket, he can't move. Seward's still supplying, makes sense. I could be in Madrid, he doesn't want to walk there. Not with only 2 items. Van Helsing could move. Hunters have drawn so many Dracula events. Aggie. I do not want Aggie. Okay, this is bad. This makes fighting Seward in 34 substantially worse. He has, like, I can't... If he just does 4 damage to me with Heavenly Host, I can't heal that. Like when he plays Escape, I can't play Fangs into Escape and heal 2. Mm. Okay, we also don't currently have a mob, which is kind of what we want to walk to Madrid with. So maybe we don't go to Madrid yet. Maybe we don't go to Madrid at all. I don't really see the point of going to 34 with bodyguards, ambushing with bodyguards, and then having a fight with Seward. Chances are he just like escapes or plays Heavenly Host round 1, especially with Aggie in play. Like Heavenly Host into Claws, that's a great result for Hunters with Aggie in play. Heavenly Host into Mesmerize, great result. Escape into anything, also fine. Anything but Mesmerize, I suppose. Okay, now we have a mob. So if Seward doesn't go to Madrid, we are thinking that we might go to Madrid before him. And then we will hide in Madrid and hopefully he walks onto us. Well, Godalming's still supplying, that's fine. He is far away. Seward is moving and he gets to Madrid before us. Fine. Oh, if we'd have had that, we'd have had the mob the previous turn and put the mob in 34. Oof. I mean, it's still not that good because Aggie's in play, but in something. But yeah, overall, so far, Hunters seem to seem to have the best of the game. Seward has just gone into Spain and not died. He's occupying Madrid, which severely... It makes it very easy to work out where I've gone, right? Like, clearly I've started in Lisbon and gone to Cadiz and then Granada. And then the next two spots on the trail are going to be 1 and 48. Like, he at this point almost surely knows the first 5 locations on the trail. Which is impressive because there's only 4 locations on the trail at the moment. I suppose I could have hidden in Lisbon or something. So it is. Van Helsing is thinking about trading, I guess. All tickets. He passes. Okay. I suppose hunters have about 3 events to share between them, and they're probably in an okay place as it is, but might as well pretend to trade now. Yep, for my choice of one place to where to go, I will go to that place, or the place without Seward on it. What to put there? We have to decide whether to rumor the vampire now. So currently, if we rumor the vampire, Seward can move to our fog, search the fog. There's then 2 fog tokens there. We get our turn, we slide the trail, and the vampire gets to the position the fog is currently in. Then we take off a fog, there's now 1 fog. The vampire slides to the position that Lisbon's in. We take off another fog, the vampire slides to the final position. He moves to the final position, he moves the vampire that's in the 6th position on the trail. He can move to the vampire and search it. So currently, Seward, if he had a stake, could completely solo clear the trail if he just starts today. So, no rumour. And even if Seward can't solo clear the trail because he might not have the stake to clear the rumoured 2nd location, like the Van Helsing will probably have a stake then. And he can get to Granada just fine in the next 3 turns. Sorry, 4 turns. Lord Godalming moves. Okay, moves by train, that's fine. Yet to see a movement by horse. Sticking to the... that is a lot of Drac events, isn't it? Okay. Van Helsing has got to 8. Lord Godalming is going to get to 36 before we do, unless we will form that. And we probably don't want to will form to get underneath Lord Godalming's feet. That's... I mean, it is still week 1, so we can. Like, Seward will be busy. Then might you just abandon the trail? If Lord Godalming walked onto us on 36. If he has a chartered carriage, he probably will, right? But the hunters have 2 events, so they don't have a chartered carriage. They've got I'm not even, I wish I could flip through their characters. They've got literally 3 events between them. So at worst, it's probably a 2v1. So I could wall form to 36. Not really sure what it achieves, especially with Aggie in play. Like, I take a damage from getting to 36 first from my wall form. Lord Godalming walks onto me, if he wants to. We have a fight. I take some damage and escape as Bat, taking 2 more damage for escaping. The net result of this is Lord Godalming has cleared my trail and I've accessed Central Europe. Doesn't feel great. Okay, Mina's still supplying. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Is that 9? Now 10 track events in Discord? Okay, Lord Godalming doesn't have any events. The Seward has 1 event. Van Helsing has 1 event. Mina has 0 events. So between hunters, they have 2 events. That feels pretty good. I mean, the fear is we're going to run out of Dracula events in the deck, and hunters are going to start night supplying because they've already drawn through all of the Drac events. Okay, and now we kind of regret our decision not to rumor 26 because Seward now can't solo the trail. He'll get stuck in 12. And we also need to decide, do we want to go to 47? Like, we could move to 47. Seward moves to 12. We move to and searches. We move to 31. We're invincible. I'm not scared of Van Helsing. Only Van Helsing could reach me. Remember, hunters haven't got any events. We can then move to 12. The location will be led, so we get sort of 1 encounter. And we get 1 night fight with Seward. That's not enough to kill him, and it's Seward, so he'll heal really quickly. And then what are we going to do? We'll move to 26. I guess we would move to 26. Or 34, I suppose. But maybe we should access Europe. Like the Central Europe. Right, what are we putting here? I don't know what we should put here. This is the being cleared by a vampire location. Because 26 is presumably going to mature. Because it's a vampire and it's not rumored and behind fog. Lord Godalming moves to 36. Okay, so now next to 2 hunters. Next turn I can either, I obviously don't ambush, next turn I can either move to 15 or I can wall form. Or I can move to Alicante, but that seems horrendously bad. Kind of funny though, imagine having got all the way to 54, moving to 4 and then wall form into 47 is just terrible though. Like hunters will check 15 and see that it's not there and realise, oh, this guy's in Spain still. Yeah. Well, we've now left Spain. We're still invincible because it's still week 1. Aggie's in play, so maybe we're not invincible. I say we're invincible. We're invincible because it's week 1 and hunters have got 3 events to share between them. Van Helsing supplies and discards another Drac event. Mina supplies and gets an event. What is it? Excellent weather. That's fine. That's pretty useless at the moment. RToWin takes tickets. We get to see a move by horse. That's fog. So I'm going to slide betrayal. My vampire is in the 5th position. So Van Helsing, if he wants, he can move to Madrid. My vampire slides to the 6th position. Van Helsing moves to 26. Clears it. So if Van Helsing wants to, having seen that Seward has got stuck, he can clear 26. So if it was a rumoured vampire and he had a stake, he would go and do that. But currently, I think we've seen Mina discard a stake. I think. Might as well. Yep, wolves. Well, I'd rather put rats there, but that's fine. Okay, now big question. Do we move to 15 or do we wolf form? Moving to where there's only one choice as to where we go. I mean, I appreciate we could go back to Alicante, but I'm not going to Alicante. So is it? It's not Alicante, is it? It's Barcelona. Sorry, 4. This makes it easy for hunters to deal with trail. If I wolf formed now, then hunters have a much harder time guessing the location of my trail, unless of course they draw the proximity local rumours on particularly RToWin. Yeah, and then the next question is where to wolf form to. I think nearly everywhere. Like all of 39, 42, 24, 60, 37, 25. They're all super viable spaces to wolf form to. Yeah. Zurich, I think, is the most obvious place to wolf form to. Like it's... If hunters aren't going to check where I've gone for 4 turns, I would rather I went to Zurich. Because it gives me the most options for my next moves. Yeah, not removing the vampire because the aristocratic rules over the reckless will clear it. Okay, and I've put a spy in Milan. Well, it's a spy in a big city, so they won't see it coming. Unfortunately, it's therefore not so good. Okay, crucifix and rifle, another Drac event, that's fine. Seward is stuck in the fog. Discarding Holy Circle. Well, if he had a holy circle before, I wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. Van Helsing. Van Helsing has the serious choice here, right? Everyone else's turn was, you know. Okay, well, Mina has a choice as well, but she presumably moves to 38 because I've spent my all form jumping over Lord Godalming / Van Helsing. So she can stop me accessing the east with great efficiency if she just steps to 38 before I can get there. Mind you, now that I think about it, can't I just step onto Mina's location? Hunters are yet to evidence that they've found all the white ones. And they were still taking tickets a lot. So if Mina moves to Munich, can I move on to Mina? She doesn't have any events. Lord Godalming has like no events. Van Helsing has no events. If hunters haven't found all the white ones, or have poor horse economy, Lord Godalming can't protect Mina, so Mina would just move out of my way to avoid the night fight. Like she's got a stake and 2 other things. That's fine. I can just play like strength and fangs, and mesmerize, and escape is bad. Seems pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Van Helsing is still deciding whether he wants to go and deal with my trail or to leave it be. He's deciding if 26 is a hoax. If 26 is a hoax, he wants to go and deal with it. But if not, he doesn't need to. Like if he knew it was a vampire, even if he has a stake, he can just let it go. He checks to see if I have come out of Spain, or if I've formed from Toulouse specifically. Which is sensible. And also I think very sensible is we move Mina to 38. If she doesn't, I will certainly move to 38. Yep, Seward gets partially unstuck. That was tickets and Lord Godalming. Seward isn't drawing tickets, or he's thinking at the very least. So they're done with the white ones. Like surely they're done with the white ones. But I'm not sure what Seward is therefore thinking about. Maybe they're not done with the white ones? Okay, quick event count. Seward has 2. What is Seward thinking about? Seward passed. Okay. Van Helsing has 2 events. Van Helsing and Seward trade. Rearranging the 4 events that they have between them. So in the discard pile, there is, Almina didn't take a ticket. Okay, they have all the white ones. It's like it is. Don't want these rats. Okay, now where do I actually go? Somehow despite having just moved here, I feel like it was a terrible idea. I mean, it was fine. But I could move down Italy, which is okay, I guess. And then access the east via the Adriatic Sea. Or I could attempt to go north and make it to the North Atlantic, the English Channel, or the Germany Sea, whatever that's called. Actually, no, if I went south, if I went down to Italy, it would probably be best to enter the sea via Mediterranean. Then I could move one space from sea and then we'll form. And I can test whether hunters have money trail or hypnosis. Yeah, so we do have 2 vampires and we now have 2 rumor tokens. So we will put these 2 vampires down with rumor tokens if the stake situation seems appropriate. Now the stake situation is always going to be somewhat dicey because hunters have basically supplied through the entire deck. So well, not quite, but like they're pretty much there. They're like 2 turns away from having supplied the entire deck. And I haven't put any vampires down yet, so even if they've currently discarded all of the stakes, they can supply through the deck by the time I put down my 2 vampires, and then supply 2 stakes by the time my vampires have mature. But okay, enough of that. We are going to get our Reckless mature, which is good, I guess. Okay, he has dogs, don't have a weapon. He has a pistol. Mina is supplying in Munich and discards a stake and shows another stake. And renewed vigor. Okay. Hunters have renewed vigor. Hunters have like 5 events and one of them is renewed vigor. Which is completely fair. Like, hunters have supplied 22 times. They deserve a card of the caliber of renewed vigor. It's funny. Like, remember, there's still only 3 hunter events. Yeah, we're going to mature the vampire and lose a bunch of trail, but if we don't, then like what's the aristocratic? They won't become delayed to deal with the aristocratic if we're not willing to mature this vampire and clear this bit of trail. So yeah, the desecrating soil is nothing unless they bother to go and clear it. if we had a hoax in Alicante, we probably wouldn't mature, because I doubt hunters can reach or be bothered to reach 1. But that's all we'll actually get out of not maturing. So we mature our reckless. Just 4 points. Ruinzurk. I wish Past Me would flash open the item discard rather than just repeatedly flashing open the event discard, so we could check on mistake situation rather than me relying on my memory from earlier this week. But I'm pretty sure 2 stakes have been discarded and Mina is showing the 3rd, I think. But I would really appreciate a recap. I mean, maybe you guys have been paying more attention than I have been, so maybe you know. Lord Godalming has just discarded the stake. And he draws Rufus. Okay, no Aggie, Rufus instead. I'm okay with this. I'm in the middle of Europe. I'm not planning to go, I mean I am planning to go to sea eventually, but like, this is fine. I'm on board with us not having Aggie anymore. Okay, so now there's 4 hunter events in the discard pile with 18 cards in there. So there's 14. We've had 14 Drac events out of 25 supplies. Crazy. Expectation is 8 Drac events out of 25 supplies. Van Helsing and Lord Godalming are trading. We don't know if it's items or events. Great. I wasn't paying attention. Van Helsing moved by train, I presume. Or was it horse? Must have been horse, because he's still got 2 tickets. Yeah. I feel we're approaching the time where hunters might, start looking for me. Hunters have supplied all but 6 cards in the deck. The trail is like we need to find the trail in order to clear it. Maybe we can stand still and supply a bit longer. Like, draw hired scouts. We don't need to. Probably would though. Maybe they could move Van Helsing to Munich if he still has his horse. And then Psychic Scan Munich. Psychic Scan Germany. And know that therefore the only way for me to have got past Germany to the east would be 60, 41, 44 if the Psychic Scan came up negative. That would be pretty good. Yep, okay, we continue our vampire plan because the hope situation is good. There is, I believe, one stake, and Mina has it. So we're going to test their ability to deal with two vampires, two rumored vampires, because just one stake. And they'll probably manage it, like, you know, they've got a bunch of knives, they can always send two people to Cologne to fight the thing with knives, especially if it's rumoured. Okay, Lord Gadamwin is moving. Seward has a horse. Thankfully he's far away. Van Helsing is supplying, having given away his horse. Does Mina have a horse? Okay, Van Helsing and Mina are supplying for the last horse. Or for events. Lord Gadamwin is night supplying. Normally I would say, oh, why are you light supplying? But this is completely warranted. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 9 Drac events left out of the 47 cards. Yeah, we can be night supplying. Like, move in day, supply at night. We could do that 10 times and give Dracula 2 events, and they're probably bad. We can certainly do occasional night supplies. Okay, now where to go to? I mean, to port is obvious. To port with fog. But you see, hunters haven't found any of my trail yet. Like, they have no way of knowing whether I'm in Amsterdam, Nantes, or Le Havre. So hopefully I'm fine. This needs to be rumoured. It doesn't need to be, but I want it to be rumoured. So the hunters have to, deal with it. Yeah, and like, I was considering going down to Italy. Logging down in supplies. Don't draw local rumours. Okay. That's better for me than local rumours. A lot better. Right, finally, get 1 stake, 2 stakes, 3 stakes, Mina has the last stake. No knives, no heavenly hosts, 1 rifle. No bullets. Plenty of pistols still? No, 0 pistols. Knives, heavenly hosts, horses, 1 stake. And some more items. There are 3 rifles that haven't been shown yet. And the deck was empty, so it was literally horses, knives, heavenly hosts. Okay, hired scouts. Nuremberg and Prague. But that I could only have reached Prague through Nuremberg. Seems strange to search both. I feel hunters can make if they want, hunters can make the logical deduction that I've gone north from Strasbourg. It's not at all guaranteed. Like I could have all formed to 42, hidden in 42, moved to Strasbourg, or gone 42, 24, 51, 60, 37. And I'm now making my way towards Genoa. But balance the probabilities, it's likely that I'm heading towards the North Atlantic, the English Channel, or the North Sea. So Strasbourg, 2 spaces from Strasbourg. So we're hiding here because we want to put the rumor token down on the second vampire. Let's put bats down to protect the hoax and pray that the lack of information, pray that hunters don't guess where we are. That's maybe not the greatest idea, but it's the idea I went with. And we'll remove this. Please don't kill me. You don't know where I am. Why would you try and kill me this turn? I could be in 2, I could be in 27. Even if you learn about 16, you don't know where I am. I could be in 29. And there is a remote possibility that I'm in Italy. That would have been masterful if I'd have managed to have laid out the trails I have and be in Italy. Probably not a good idea either. But if I'd have pulled it off, it would have been masterful. I just imagined starting 54, wolf form to 42, move to 24, move to 51. Yeah, but the thing is, after you go to 51, do you really go 60? Because like hunters could draw hive scouts and then you lose. Remember, all forms on the trail. And it's not just hive scouts; it's hive scouts, evil presence, local rumors. This is, I think that Mina has newspaper reports. Yeah, I think that Mina has newspaper reports for unknown reasons. When in reality she does not. She is non-white. Renewed vigor, speed telegraph. Okay. Good news is, bats can save me if Logadami walks here first. Like, hopefully, we've yet to see evidence. One of the others do have the horse, but maybe it's Van Helsing. He hasn't got any tickets to use. Who just supplied? Mina supplied and then moved. And checked 41. Which was where he searched with scouts. Just checking I haven't doubled back to 41. That's very good. I am not near 7. Also, would I really have Strasbourg 1, 2, 3? I'd have to put, like, the only way it would have taken me from Strasbourg 3 moves to get to 7. So I'd have to be precisely in 7 for me to be in 7. And would I really at this point not be on port? Seward rolls slow. He cannot reach me. It's very good. Can't even reach my vampire. Or he can with horses. I'll take it. Yeah, though it might even have been good if Seward had have reached me. Like we get to, I'd ambush him with bats, we'd fight at night, and I'd tell him to fight a new vampire at night. And hopefully this would kill him. Yep, might as well. 2 damage, right? What do we have? Claws, fangs, mesmerize. Might as well mesmerize. Or we could get punched in the face. That's fine. Don't show knife. Good. Funny if you just showed knife there, like. Just solo beats a new vampire in day. Right, Van Helsing, are you going to deal with Trail? You know it's probably 2 spaces before Strasbourg. We're going to supply and drop a rifle. And then incorrectly guess 2 spaces before Strasbourg. It also looks suspiciously like 1 space before Strasbourg. Okay, so I get my spy mature. So who has a white 1 ticket, or a white 1 ticket, and also whose only weapon is a knife? This isn't helped by not knowing who has the 3rd horse. Yeah, there's no way we make it back to Milan. At least not with any reliability. Mina? Show me just a knife? No, she had a rifle as well. No heavenly host, therefore. Like, Mina has a knife. Because it's Mina and she supplied with Logadamine at the start. So hunters know I was in Cologne, and then I was in Cologne. I was 1 space from Cologne and not in 9, and that I came before Cologne from Strasbourg, and that I haven't gone to the other Germany port. Feels like hunters know where I am. So goodbye. Hello, Rufus. Right. Do you guys want to clear the trail? I'd like my bats to trigger 1 Van Helsing, please, or Mina. Either's good. We'll go down in supplies. Crucifix and bullets. Another Drac event. Can we have another count of how many Drac events there are in the Discord file? Because I can see there's 26 events in there. I don't think hunters have used many events. They had an ally, they had hired scouts. Renewed vigor and speedy telegraph. And I think one more. So by my count, there's 21 Drac event? No, that can't be right. I'm missing some. Oh, pass me, please check. Please. Past me is not picking up the message. Sad. Seward is deciding what to do. He's moving with horses, slowly, to where Lord Godalming is. Interesting. Yep, we will be having our night fight. Very good. So you probably realize that there's a night fight coming? Yes. We will ambush, and we will note that we might want to take care not to die. Because if we die, our vampire dies, the stake that she has will kill the new vampire, and we won't get a night fight. So vampire, draw strength. Good. Mesmerize is great as well. Because Mesmerize beats knife. So we want to play fangs or strength into punch, mesmerize or strength into mesmerize, strength or plotting into knife. Yeah, fangs. Punch. Good. 2 damage, 1 point. Let's now not get stabbed by a knife. I don't mind. I mean, we drew another fangs. Okay, we didn't get stabbed by a knife. Good. And we're back to full health. We got 2 points. Good. Very, very good. I think that's the most you can hope for. And obviously it was fortunate that we had both mesmerize and strength in our opening hand. And then we got lucky that we guessed correctly out of punch, or we guessed correctly that he didn't play knife round 1 to get our point. Knife or dodge, I suppose. Okay, Seward moved to 27. I don't really understand why. Like, he was standing on top of a new vampire. Given that hunters a moment ago didn't have enough stakes, they have started resupplying through the deck, so they might have enough stakes now. You would have thought it would have been nice to keep him standing there. Okay, Logadami and Seward are trading. So Seward and Logadami wanted to rearrange their stuff. I suppose Seward hadn't traded with anyone since being in 12. In fact, Seward has never traded with anyone, items or events. Items, sorry. Yes, we would have our night fight before our vampire gets staked. Ambush, good. The hunters have escape route. I'm sure they'd play it if they did. This is classic escape route time. Well, Peak is pretty good too. Hunters have lucky find. Okay. And they discarded dogs. So I think Past Me has a... Yeah, we get a message from Past Me. I'm pretty sure we knew that hunters did not have dogs. Okay, and we knew this because when the deck reshuffled, hunters had Trip Horse, Trip Knife, Trip Heavenly Host, Trip Rifle, single stick. This means, and then since supplying, we haven't seen Van Helsing discard any of these items. I think. I might have missed it when I played before, but I'm just going off memory here. So maybe. We're going with Mesmerize. Okay, could have gone Claws, but fine. Right, now here I make, unfortunately, a terrible mistake. I somehow think that I've mesmerized Escape, so therefore he can't play Escape this turn, and I play Strength. This is a huge mistake. Van Helsing has just shown Knife. It seems likely he hasn't got another combat item. We had Fangs and Claws. He's shown Knife. Knife is on cooldown. We should play Fangs this turn. And if he doesn't dodge, we get 2 points. If he does dodge, the next turn we play Claws, and it's probably unblockable. Because dodge will be on cooldown. And then we kill him or we cost him great strength and deal 2 damage. Instead, we play Strength because we have a complete brain meltdown. I thought I mesmerized Somehow I thought I'd mesmerised escape. Yeah, I was very surprised when I played strength into escape. I was like, I thought he couldn't have escape, but of course he could have escape. I was mesmerised knife, not escape. Anyway, that was 2 points lost. And we need to decide where we're going. We can go into France, but that will be a psychic scan. Like he's already in position on Strasbourg with 2 hunters to psychic scan France. So that's not great. I'm feeling that the game is going okay. Like having just got 2 points there. Game is pretty decent. So I don't want to. I don't think it's necessary to wolf form, like to risk being killed by CG. Especially when hunters could have hypnosis. And we probably don't because they've only had for like 7 hunter events. But yeah, my plan is to wolf form to 47, being the one place that's not in France, but I can get to with 1 C move. Maybe it would be better to do 3 C moves. So I could then be in English, Irish, or South Atlantic. But then I lose to Money Trail CG. Because yeah, in any of those locations I'd have, well, apart from unless I'm in South Atlantic, I would lose to Money Trail CG. Was that? Yeah, becoming undelayed during the day. And Seward moved to 9. And Mina's moved to 9. Okay, we want to resupply and get items. And stay in position to psychic scan France. Seward and Mina are trading items. So, notably, Van Helsing and Mina have not moved by horse, which makes me feel like maybe either Seward or Lord Godalming had an extra horse. I don't know. Seems strange. Hold on. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 out of 27 in the discard pile are Drac events. So there's 6 Drac events left in the remaining 40 cards. Yeah, we're slowly clearing our Spain lairs so that we lost ours by going there. But arguably we shouldn't. We should do that next turn. Clear them just in front of us so we have choice of moving there. Yeah, I don't want Ireland, I don't want France. I'm already committed at this point in Santander. I mean, I can go France. Like, I could do like 54, 8, 47. Or like the thing is, it's so easy to check the ways out of France if Drac is leaving France without a wolf form. Right? Hunters just have to check 24 and 36. And then they'll know if Dracula left France into Italy or not. We don't need fog. Sure, we'll have soil. Maybe it will find us our second fog when it gets searched. Probably won't, but maybe it will. Right. Hunters presumably have an answer to our clone new vampire because they've procrastinated it so long. Like Hunter's movement really wouldn't make sense if they didn't have a stake already, because they should have been leaving people in 16 or meeting up and trading in 16, and then while people were there just like chilling with a knife, someone searches, we delay our night actions and to chop up the vampire with knives. So someone has a stake, presumably. He also hasn't yet felt a need to deal with Amsterdam. Oh, mind you, I have a hoax in Amsterdam. That matures, it's very good. He still has plenty of time to deal with it, like with 4 hunters right there, like the bats only prevents the first person from doing it. But maybe he won't bother. I should ambush it. Like he has a stake. And if not, he's not going to kill me in a 1v1. Not unless I let him. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's not the combat hand you want to see in a new vampire. But it will do. Yep, 2 damage. A classic new vampire. Okay, Seward, you're supplying so that you Munich and Psychic Scan. Evil Presence. I guess I'm not in 42 or 29. Yeah, I didn't feel much. Yep, we don't ambush here because they would just chop me up with some knives. Mina also supplying so that she can Psychic Scan at night. Did we just... no. It's still 19 Drac events, but we can now see the 20th one on top of the pile. Yeah, the past me which pointed out that Van Helsing was low on hit points, which would be very relevant if we didn't have a stake, but for sure that we have a stake, right? Yes, we have a stake. Not in France, Psychic Scan. Fine. Clone. Yeah, all clear. Diz, sure. kind of like feed here. It looks like Botanica in a way. And then with the other locations, Madrid is more dangerous than Lisbon because chartered carriage from Seward and Mina can reach me. Hunters probably don't have 2 chartered carriages. I'll be okay with 1 chartered carriage with a mob. Though this pause makes me nervous. Is it the new vigor? It's surprising return. Okay, he's going to check Santander, and that would tell him whether it's England or Spain. So Britannica or Spain. It is in fact Spain. Okay, I'm in threat by chartered carriage, and I'm regretting not being in Lisbon. But being in Madrid does give me greater obscurity about location next turn. That I can move to any of 3 ports next turn, which wouldn't be the case if I was currently in Lisbon. Also, quick reminder, I still have a hoax. The hoax is in position 6. If Mina is left in charge of dealing with that hoax, she won't be able to through the bats. Look down in fast horses. Moves towards Spain. Seward. He can charter carriage to Madrid. He has 3 events, so he could have a chartered carriage. Instead, he just walks to 42. My hoax matures. Unless Mina has forewarned and deals with it now. She doesn't have forewarned because she only has 1 event. Pretty sure we just scored 2 more, so this makes 21. Maybe I didn't count that correctly. Oh, but 4. Yeah. So 21 Drac events in the discard pile to choose from for my hoax. That's a pretty big deal. Hunters now night supplying because there's only 4 Drac events out of 35, which is pretty good odds, I would say. I feel like we're not night supplying enough when odds of a Drac event are 4 in 34. That's like 1 in 1 in 8, which is a lot better than 1 in 3. And also hunters are hugely event under supplied, not through any fault of their own. Like they've been supplying during day, like quite a bit. They've got 40 cards through the thing, which is like roughly where we expect hunters to have got to at this stage of the game. They just haven't got many hunter events because they've had 21 Drac events. Yeah, I say this will take a bit to think. There is a lot of choices. There's 21 choices, but how about we just look through them and find Darkness Returns or Unearthly Swiftness? Like, these cards that say gain 3 points when we're already at 6 points. Darkness Returns and Unearthly Swiftness are better than gain 3 points. They're in the worst case scenario, providing you live to week 4, they gain 3 points. We're not picking him. We have our choice of Darkness Returns or Unearthly Swiftness. We could have Wild Horses, we could have Vampiric Influence, but like, there's a reason why everyone believes that Darkness Returns and Unearthly Swiftness are the best Drac events, because they're really good. And this situation isn't so unique that one of the other cards is better, in my opinion. This is a pretty standard situation. Hunters know roughly where Drac is. Drac's trail is meaningless and unthreatening. Drac will go to the sea before too long. Dracula will try and score points in week 4. Right, so Hunters we just shuffled 20 cards back into the deck. So Hunters had got the event deck down to 35. And then they lost 20 of that progress. So we got it down to 35. So Hunter's got 20 Hunter events, of which we can see 10 in the discard. So Hunter's got 10, I'm going to call them sticky Hunter events, things which stick in their hands. And then it got reshuffled. It's our turn. I don't think... Do I realise it's my turn? Well, we can work out what to do. We kind of want to move out of Lord Godalmion's and Seward's combined range. Like, being in Madrid is kind of bad. We don't need to play Fog this turn. I was very quick. What was that? A mob? I think that was a mob. And then yeah, why did we choose 31? We felt this wasn't the first place that Hunters are going to discover Madrid today, right? Like they're geared up for that. Okay, I haven't gone to 48, so I went to either 34 or 31. We chuck a mob onto Seward. I mean, it only does only really does 2 damage because it's Seward. Like he can heal 2 at night, and I'm ambushing. He drops his horse and is now down to 6. But 6 isn't any... 6 isn't better than 5 because damage is even. So I don't understand. You can just keep your horse for 3 and you won't die with the same likelihood as if you had your horse. You just threw away a horse. Pistol, Holy Circle. Yeah, I was confused about the horse. Why did he throw away his horse? Like 8 health is no better than 7. Having a horse is better than not having a horse. Well, they're taking tickets. Fortunately, my hoax has stopped them from just recklessly night supplying. Okay, I feed. I want health before I return to sea. It's slightly, with Rufus in play, it's slightly too early for me to full send Pirate Drac. Like it would have been Wednesday move. If I didn't feed and I still would have seen Wednesday move South Atlantic, Thursday move Mediterranean, and they would know that this so currently on the trail we have North Sea, North Atlantic. Yeah, so when I went to the Mediterranean, hunters would know that that wasn't the North Atlantic. Okay, Seward correctly guessed. This is much better than Lord Godalming correctly guessing. And he forewarns the mob. Okay. That's fine. My mob ate a forewarned. That's a good mob. We will have a night fight with Van Helsing, with Seward. It looks like Mina won't be joining us, which is good. Okay, Chartered Cat, she is coming to threaten. I am threatened. I wish to leave next turn. Please let me leave with enough hit points. Seward is on 8 hit points. I actually really like plotting her. I don't care if he escapes. I don't care if Seward escapes and I get no value from my fight. I don't want value from my fight. I want to not get hurt too badly in my fight. And doesn't plotting into Heavenly Host give me value via getting fangs and getting healing of fangs and potentially killing Seward for the win? Like that's plotting into knife, plotting into Heavenly Host. I mean, plotting to escape is completely fine. Happy with that. Very happy to not have this fight. So yeah, maybe that would have been better. I mean, obviously against punch it's worse. So I can't 100% plot. I have to plot some percentage of the time and do something that's good against at least punch and pistol the other time. Although Steward probably doesn't have pistol. So I just have to do something that's good against punch for some other percentage of the time. But yeah, in retrospect, I'm feeling plotting was better than strength. I think crucially because plotting into knife is good. I mean, strength into knife is good as well, but yeah, okay. We are now on 8 hit points. I would love to do South Atlantic, North Atlantic, English Channel, Wolf to Swansea. Or, the same Irish Sea, Wolf to London. But if hunters have Money Trail and Consecrated Ground, then I die if I do this. In fact, if I go 3 spaces by sea, and then by the time I've moved 3 spaces by sea, hunters have those 2 cards, I die. Because they play Money Trail to see where I am, and then whichever sea they see, they block off. They use CG to block off the 3 ports that go to the mainland. Whether this is the 3 ports in mainland Italy or the 3 ports that are like around the seas around Britannica. And then I'm forced to go 1 more space by sea, and Rufus therefore kills me. So unfortunately, I am not able. I am 1 hit point too short, maybe 2 hit points too short. If I had 9 hit points, then if they push me 1 more space with CG and Money Trail, then I wouldn't be able to wolf form, which is quite bad. But I have fog, so it might be okay. Like they only have 1 forewarned. But then maybe they can get their hunters to stand on the ports. So I really don't. So a 10 health would be the minimum required for me to feel very comfortable with the idea of move 3 spaces at sea and then wolf form. So if I don't have that, then I have 2 spaces by sea and then wolf form. So Island's terrible, because if at any point he draws CG and he's failed to find me, and like he's about to lose the game, he can play CG and block up Ireland, and then I die when I get pushed into the sea. Because I will arrive in Ireland with 2 for South Atlantic, 2 for North Atlantic, 1 for wolf forming, even if it's a fake wolf form. 2, 4, 5. Oh, it doesn't instantly kill me. 2 for South Atlantic, 2 for North Atlantic, 1 for wolf forming. I'm on 3 hit points. I guess I need to hide and move, and the move scores me points. Right, so this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday we land, Sunday we hide, Monday we score points, taking us to 9. We then go into the sea, and if he has CG, he plays it and we die. Yeah, so Ireland is really quite bad. So let's not go to Ireland. So we have a choice of wolf forming into France out of the North Atlantic, or wolf forming into France, Spain, or Italy from the Mediterranean. Both are viable. We haven't got to decide quite yet. Presumably our Santander won't mature. Like, hunters still have 2 heavenly hosts. So either Mina or Lord Godalming will have 1, presumably. Lord Godalming supplies. He draws an event. Seward supplies, replacing his horse with a different item. Van Helsing and Lord Godalming day trade. Don't know why. Mina goes and deals with desecrated soil, presuming she has heavenly host. Hopefully she doesn't, and they get bonus cycle out of it. So it heals to full. Okay, this was why there was the day trade, presumably, to get this done as quickly as possible. Mina stabs the soil with her stake. I don't want an aristocratic or a hoax. Mina does have a heavenly host. Okay, decision time. The classic wolf form from the Med, or the alternative wolf form from the North Atlantic. I mean, both are viable. Wolf form from the Med gives us Italy. Italy's pretty good. We're not going to Cagliari. Yes, Zurich looks very attractive. It seems pretty far from Hunters, but Zurich is a 3-2 train ticket from Van Helsing. Van Helsing has presumably 3 combat items. You're going to be on 3 hit points by the time you arrive. Do you really want Zurich? Lockdown, waiting on you again. Do you want to move? Yes, you want to reposition, which makes a lot of sense. Get somewhere relevant. I have these crazy ideas about wall forming to Granada. Because they'll never suspect it, right? Right? Like they could so easily check it, just have Seward and Mina stand in the same space in Spain and psychic scan. But because they can so easily check it, Dracula wouldn't do it, right? So there's no point in checking. But I could go to Granada. Could be fun. Bit risky. Seward, you want to move somewhere? Perhaps somewhere where it's possible for me to wall form to next turn to take away an option? I'd suggest that's a good idea. Like, or you could move with excellent weather to the sea. I had actually forgotten that he did this, just as I was rewatching this. I think this makes no sense because I think there's no possibility that I'm going to Ireland. Because I think going to Ireland is just losing. If hunters have CG. And given how well the game is going for me, like I still have a fog. Hunters have spent a forewarned for night supply. Okay. I still have a fog. Hunters have spent forewarned. Hunters have only obtained 20 or so, a bit more than 20, 25 hunter events. I have Darkness Returns. I have 6 points. I don't think I'm willing to risk the game on if they have CG I win, if they don't have CG. So if they have CG I lose, if they don't have CG I win. Therefore I'm not in Ireland. And I think my opponent could have guessed that. Because they should know that I have a very good event like Darkness Returns. I have a choice of 24 after all. Is anyone going to Santander? Don't put a Reckless Vampire there. You only need 7 points to win. Given we get points in multiples of 3, a Fang from a Reckless Vampire is potentially game winning. Good. Okay, we have lots of choices. A Spain's even more viable now that Van Helsing, now that Seward has left. Cagliari is not an option. Rufus is too uncomfortable and feeders on the trail. Like I don't even get any points for going to Cagliari. It's Saturday move, Sunday hide. Leaving to sea by the time I should be scoring points. No, we're not going to the Tyrrhenian, because then we die to Money Trail CG. We're not going to Cagliari either. Right, now we're thinking about should we misdirect Madrid before we land? It gives us one greater possibility if we will form, or we're going to will form. But it gives us one greater possibility. But it reduces the chance that we draw fog by 1 in. It reduces it gets rid of a 5% chance that we draw fog. I'd like a 5% chance of drawing an extra fog. So I don't like Zurich because it's a 3-2 from Van Helsing. Like if it's a white 3 train ticket from Van Helsing. Milan would be nice, apart from the fact I feel it's an obvious place for Logodamian to check. Genoa is quite nice, but maybe Logodamian feels that Genoa is more obvious than Milan. Interesting. I mean, I could still go. I could still go to Granada. The Wolf form to Granada is an option. He's spent a Heavenly Host. CG doesn't kill me instantly. I'd be able to lair Madrid and put Fog there if he didn't move to. Well, even if he, yeah, I'd be able to lair Madrid and put Fog there. If he forced me to move to Madrid. So, sort of worst case is I have a 3 health 1v1. And I could always Darkness Return to skip through whatever location he left open to me. So that does seem completely fine. Like if I Wolf him to Granada, he CG's 12, 26 to 1 and moves Mina to 34. Then I can move to 34, play Darkness Returns, fight at night, hope to not die, and then move somewhere else and play Fog. Or we can just hope that he doesn't go to Marseille. I mean, in fairness, there is 3, so 25, 37, 60, 24, 15, 36. That's 6 possibilities. And also there's 4, 48, 1, 26. So we're now up to 10 possibilities. And then there's the Wolf forms from the North Atlantic. 39, 8, 42, 29. So there's 14 possibilities. And does he really check Marseille first? No, Stewart checks Ireland, which I don't think is sensible. Lord Godalming doesn't move his supplies. And Helsing doesn't move his supplies. So I'm going to have my Sunday move, which is going to be onto Fog. Oh, sorry, it wasn't. Lord Godalming didn't supply. Van Helsing supplied. My mistake. I'm going to have my Sunday move, where I'll go somewhere and place Fog. That way, you know, I'm safe, and except for against Forewarned, and there's only one Forewarned. Then I will hide, and that will score me 3 points while I'm standing on my Fog. And then presume he didn't find me on the previous round, I'm safe for that round as well because of the Fog. And that gets me to 9 points. And then I will move and play Darkness Returns, which gets me another 6, which even if they play Vampire there would be enough to win. So if they have Forewarned, they have this turn, next turn, and the following turn in order to define my precise location. If they don't have Forewarned, they have this turn. Yes, the rumors in Santander proved useful. Okay, that rules out 48. And 8. Longer damage is Night Supply. I will point out that since I shuffled this hoax back into the deck, since I shuffled all 20 Drac events back into the deck, Hunters have Night Supplied like 5 times and not drawn a Drac event. But oh well. We can't have all the luck. Van Helsing and Mina are considering if they want to Night Supply. Presumably they do, because they chose to supply during day. And therefore they need stuff to kill me, not just moving around. Well, like if they chose to supply in day, they would probably, and choose to now pass at night, they would probably have been better off moving at day and then either supplying at night or not supplying at night. Could Van Helsing and Mina please have their turns? Apparently not. Okay, well, I've already discussed what I'm going to do with my next turn. I'm going to move somewhere and play Fog. Where am I going to move to? It's not going to be 60. It could now be 37. Here, Van Helsing is Night Supply. Could be 37 now. Like, no, that's a train ticket from Norgadami. 25 is attractive because it's just chartered carriages, and we've already seen 2 chartered carriages. I suppose it's sense of emergency from Norgadami. Let's make sure to. There is no point in clearing Santander. Because Mina's still standing there. Yeah, okay. Give me a Fog, not a Fog. Clear Madrid. Because we could be moving to Madrid now. And sure, Toulouse is fine. They won't guess I'm in Toulouse, right? They know I didn't wolf form to 48 or 8 or 54. So if they're trying to find my wolf form location, they won't check 54. or things near it. It feels like I've already had a good chunk of the risk of war falling to 36, i.e. a space adjacent to Lord Godalming. Like hunters could have drawn evil presence, right? I mean, I feel very, very silly. Not too silly, but like there was a risk there. Could have drawn on the local women's card. I still think they're in the deck. Mina drew one of them. Okay, we have now put down our fog. Right, it was fog, yes. Yeah, sure. I'm sure it was fog. I don't remember seeing what I put down. I phased out, but it should be fog. I hope it's fog. Lord Godalming is still supplying and not moving. Doesn't he realise he needs to guess where I am and guess correctly and soon? Was that a day trade? That was a day trade to give a sense of emergency to Mina. To check knots. I could have been in knots. I suppose. No reason why not. Good check. Though Van Helsing could have just like checked a location and Mina could have checked. I mean, the checking surprising locations is worthwhile. But also he should be able to guess that I'm on fog. Right, it's not, he knows I have a fog. He knows that he has at most one forewarned and that I know he has at most one forewarned. Give me another fog, please. I can stop stressing if you give me a fog. Not a fog. Okay. Yep, clear those. We're standing on fog, so we hide. We'd love to have a second fog, but sadly not. I guess it's time for a spy, so that if we do end up in combat, we can, you know, at least see what they're trying to kill me with. I mean, inevitably you'll find out, but it's like horse, heavenly host, knife. But at least we'll know that. I don't know what I'm thinking about. You're standing on fog, just hide. Oh, I suppose there is a consideration of do you want to play Darkness Returns in order to run away from where the hunters are, because they don't have many movement events left. They've spent one sense of emergency and 2 chartered carriages, which is probably all of their movement events. Or maybe all but one of their movement events. So moving to a space that's not within horse movement or rail movement, like regular rail movement or horse movement of particularly Lord Godalming would be good. We don't play Darkness Returns because we want it next turn. Currently we're on fog. We should survive while on fog. Hunters need to have the last forewarned in order to get through fog and guess where we are, which is frankly harder than having the last forewarned. And I need to guess where we are with the hunter who has forewarned. And I will know certain hunters who won't have forewarned. Lord Godalming might have forewarned. He has 3 events that I can't see. Mina does not. She has 1 event which I can see. Which is why I think moving Mina via sense of emergency was perhaps a mistake. Because like if I am at 39, I'm on fog. So when I can see that Mina moves there without, I mean, I suppose I test it anyway, right? Like even if she has 1 random event, I still trigger fog in the hope that she doesn't have forewarned. So if you don't have forewarned, then you're just hoping that I'm not standing on fog, which is a reasonable thing to hope for, I guess, if you don't have forewarned. Right, Lord Godalming, where do you want to move to? If you correctly guess where I am, then, and you have forewarned, then I lose. Otherwise, I presumably win. Uh, okay, while we're waiting for this, let's. Okay, Lord Godalming has moved. Lord Godalming has rolled horse and is now thinking about where to move. Could be to us. I mean, it feels. It would feel kind of silly for Lord Godalming to move from 54 to 42 to then back to 54. But then, you know, that's what we're relying on, that feeling silly in order to, yeah. And then if Mina doesn't move onto us, okay, he sees I have darkness returns. So now he knows with certainty that if he lets me live this turn, then I win. So Mina should move somewhere. Anywhere, not 8, presumably. Just, okay, yeah, supplies. Fine. I mean, I wasn't in range of Mina's movement anyway, presumably. And I'm on forward, so it's making a difference. And I'm on fog, so it's making a difference. Right, but yeah, going back to the fight I had in 31. Maybe she had 2 heavenly hosts. Well, she was very equipped. Maybe she just drew 1 recently. You know, you can go to where I haven't been, I guess, where you know I haven't been. Going back to the fight in 31, I really feel I should have plotted round 1. And if I get punched, then I plot again round 2. Okay, now Seward, this is on the presumption that Seward doesn't have a pistol. If he has a pistol, this idea can look pretty stupid, like punch pistol. But if he doesn't have a pistol, then the worst case scenario, round 1, he punches. My plotting fails. Round 2, I plot again. If he escapes, I'm ecstatic with this. I'm just going to leave by C. If he doesn't block plotting, then surely I can kill him. Or at least get good results and possibly heal from fangs. So yeah, I was dealt 2 plottings. and I should have used them. But yeah, well played, Arternum. It was a close game until my hopes matured. Thanks for the game.